Blessings and good night, good evening, good day. Welcome to another episode of All Over It podcast. Episode 61 today. Yeah. I got a good one in store for you. Yeah, for sure. Blessings. Welcome. Why? Yeah, the oracle in the place. Yeah, love and blessings. Today, episode 61. Claude versus ChatGPT. Which AI should you use? Yeah. Good one in store as always. But yeah, I gotta really send a big shout out, a big up to the Oracle. Yeah, got to. Love alone. Hope all is well. Yeah. But yeah, today, June 29th, almost July. Right there, right on the precipice of July. Half the year done basically gone. Yeah, amazing. Where has the year gone? But yeah, thank you. Blessings, appreciate it. Yeah, we climbing up. Honestly, I feeling like just now is 100. Like last week when it was 60, it was like, whoa, like numbers growing, man. You know, growing, numbers growing, the viewership growing. We are growing, you know, growing in that just like a plant, just like when you're constructing a building. Yeah, we're going from the ground up. Yeah, straight up. Yeah. But yeah, like I say, another week, another episode. Today is episode 61, Claude versus ChatGPT. Which AI should you use? Yeah. So today we're shifting gears a little bit, the past few weeks we've been doing episodes about financial literacy, the financial markets, or talking about IPOs and brokerage accounts and investment, trading, and all that good stuff. But today, we're talking AI. Gear shift a little bit. But for all my regular viewers, they know that they say nothing new. We've been talking about AI. We got content about AI starting from scratch. Personalize your thing, creating automations, GPTs, man. All over it podcast. We all over it. We uncovering it all. Yeah. But anyways. So yeah, like I say, now we shifting gear back into AI, and I got a good one for you. Trust me. And let me say this. Let me give this disclaimer. Today is based on real usage, like real experience, my experience. Not just theory. This is yeah. I gotta say that. This is real, like not just talking about something. So some might say today's episode might be a little biased, but like I say, it's based on my experience. So yeah, based on real experiences. So if I have to really dive into things one time, let me start by kind of framing what I want to share and explain here today. So one thing I've mentioned on this podcast on different occasions, every AI has its strengths, every platform, the different, as they call them, LLMs, language learning models. Check. So all them different companies, ChatGPT, Claude, well, Anthropic, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, all these different platforms I'll call it today, they all have their strengths, of course, probably weaknesses too. But I'll say like this, for ChatGPT, it's very strong for conversations, writing, brainstorming, and content flow. Check. Claude now is strong in systems, databases, especially coding. Claude Code is a very good tool. And doing structured projects, let me say like that. Perplexity is very good in researching things, deep research and finding information, credible and maybe even scholarly information. Perplexity, good for those things. Now, Google, the Google platform now, their strengths is they're good for visuals, images, even video and content generation. So a lot of people when they want to make like ads or the short videos and clips and things like that, they more resonate to Google. So you mentioned their weaknesses. One weakness I could mention for sure is with ChatGPT, it's not the best tool for calculations, meaning like doing mathematical calculations, especially like complex problems. It's not the best. I tell you, if anything, recheck the math. Um, yeah, different ones have their weaknesses. Like some of them does hallucinate. Meaning hallucinations in AI means that they give you like hypothetical or like just like a made up answer. So because they couldn't find anything that, let me say, anything online or anything in its vast data banks that would be a good answer for you, it'll make up something. Basically, that's a hallucination. So basically, a lot of people just ask, yeah, which AI is the best? But don't ask which AI is best. The better question is which AI is best for the job. So depending on what you want to do, what you need out of it, that's where your path lies, your journey. So as we get into things, I'll share with you my journey from ChatGPT to Claude. So of course I started with with ChatGPT, apologies, and I became a avid user. I was using ChatGPT heavily, like every day I on ChatGPT and I working on things, I dictating, I doing all kind of things with ChatGPT. So I started my AI journey on ChatGPT and I did a lot with it. Like I say, I personalize it. So when I took my certification course, I learned was a great approach to personalizing your AI platforms, So I went ahead and did that for my ChatGPT and let me say gave it a matching voice, meaning anytime it would write something, let me say I wanted to write some paragraphs or write an article or write a story for me, it'll use my voice. And honestly, even down to like the accents, meaning like how I speak in my usual dialect, it even would like use or have those in it as well. So when I say match my voice, I don't mean like my verbal voice that you're hearing right now, which I could do that as well. There is like 11 Labs platform that you could voice clone yourself. You know, meaning take your voice and make a AI voiceover with your voice. So meaning instead of me having to sit down here and talk, I could just speak to 11 Labs, have it capture my voice, and then when I, let me say, come on here, instead of me talking, I could just give it a script and have it speak for me. Yeah. But anyways, like I said, I personalize my chat GPT by giving it instructions. I gave it, let me say, bodies are writing from me, maybe transcripts and different things I put together, like essays. I give it my resume. I give it maybe proposals and different things I put together. And the aim is to give it an idea of who you are and how you to speak and these different, you know, details. And then from that, it gets an idea of how you communicate, your communication style, whether you're someone that's like bold and aggressive, or you're someone that comes across warm and sensitive, or your approach to communicating with people, which has actually a great something good to know. When you know your communication style, it helps you better understand yourself, but also better understand how to communicate with others and how you would like others to communicate with you, you know? Anyways, I digressed a bit. Once you provide the information to the AI, it now has an understanding of how you speak, how you bring things across to people, whether typing, whether verbally communicating. And then, like I said, I created a communication style, writing style guide and gave my AI that so that now it can, when it writing things, sound more like me. So it ain't sound generic like, okay, yeah, you ask it to put together something for you and it give you like this generic AI, like anything you find on the internet article, it make it sound more like it coming from you, you know? So if you're somebody like me that start a lot of sentences with like, yeah, blessings, it'll do that. Or let me say like little unique things that you do or say that wouldn't be captured in another way, in another instance. It now, because it understands you and knows how you communicate, it can do that. Check. So, like I said, my journey started with ChatGPT. I started just like anybody else, just going on, asking questions, getting answers, and then, okay, that's it. Or maybe I might do some more research after get the answer. And yeah, that was it. But then I started developing more. I started making it do things for me. Like I say, if I have to write like a article or a press release, I'll have it assist me, give it some information, and it put it together. When I personalize it, I could see the difference. Literally, I tested it, but even apart from doing the testing, you could tell the difference from that we say before you personalize it, when you ask it to put together some body writing for you, that we say you want it write a short article about your hair product that you use. You know, it'll do it for you, but it'll sound like generic. It'll sound like, yeah, any and anybody put that together. Like they just went copy and paste something from off the internet and slap it together. Sound nice, well structured, but don't sound like it's you. It ain't got your essence, you know? But then when you personalize it, like literally, you could tell the difference. Like if you somebody to start a sentence, say, hey, how is everything? Yeah. Like literally, it'll probably come in and start like that, depending on if you want it like more informal or, what you want. It's your input depends on the output, you know? So yeah, like I say, my journey started with ChatGPT. I started and I would do everything with ChatGPT, especially after personalizing it. It was like I was off to the races. Like I'll use it for podcast flows, for writing content, for consulting ideas, even help with like putting together certain maybe emails or like certain, like I say, bodies are writing. But then I discovered Claude, and I'll say I gradually migrated. Like honestly, in the beginning, I'd hear about it, but I say, man, I already using ChatGPT, so I ain't going to go use the next one. You know, I'll just stick to what I using. Now, I could say certain things I tried to do on ChatGPT, I was unable to, because trust me, I was testing, I was pushing the mode. Like I just try and do different things, see what all this thing could really do. So I the type of person I ask ChatGPT to do a lot of things, like even down to like I take a video and I ask it to analyze the video and maybe give me a breakdown of it and see how we could work on a project based on that. Or, like different things, a lot of different things. So, like I say, at a point in time, I was checking, like, man, I go to a chat GPT. I ain't going to really use the cloud. Here and there, I use perplexity. But I was checking, man, ChatGPT is my thing. Although I knew that each of them had their strengths, like I say, meaning like I say earlier, ChatGPT more for writing and like bodies are writing. Let me just say conversations, articles, all these different type of things. But now, like I say, all the different ones have their strengths and weaknesses. On top of that, like I say earlier, one of the weaknesses ChatGPT have is its calculation sometimes is be off when you give it complex like mathematical problems, or you give it like, let me say, like I say, mathematical problems or financial breakdowns you want done. Sometimes they'll make mistakes. And when you're a financial advisor or when you're somebody in a financial industry, you can't afford for not even a dollar, not even a cent to be off the check. So those are some things that are important. Not saying like, yeah, every time you use it, you're gonna make mistakes, but you will have to check on it and make sure, because it could happen. Let me say like that. So like I say, earlier on, I was in the mindset of I can just stick to ChatGPT. I already personalize it. It already knows how I communicate, so it sounds like me. And yeah, I know the negatives that, like I say, the calculations and certain other negatives I'll mention. But I say, you know what? I'll just stick to what I know, type right. But especially the last few months, maybe the last 2 to 3 months, I, like I say, started gradually migrating to Claude, and I started using it more serious, doing more build outs in there. And honestly, credit, I gotta give some credit to, Carlvin one time. Shout out Carlvin, big up yourself one time. Because, we had conversations. Both of us are avid AI users. Both of us are, you know, in the AI and IT technical realm, you see. So like we had different conversations about using different platforms, and like I say, I'll be using other platforms apart from ChatGPT. So let me say I build websites, I build different apps and different things, but I didn't do that in ChatGPT. What I'll do is, like I say, ChatGPT good for writing. So I'll give it the information and have it create a prompt, meaning so like the instructions to put in another platform. So let me say I want to create my tracker app. I'll go into ChatGPT, explain it what I want, tell it give me a prompt, and then go like in Lovable and have it create the app there. Have the app created in Lovable. So thing to say like I was stuck strictly on ChatGPT, but that was the language learning model that I was using strictly, basically. Let me say like that. So I was using other AI platforms, but yeah, ChatGPT was it for me. I gotta be honest, But like I say, I started to use Claude, and I was recommended to use it some more. And I say, you know what? Let me do that. I start, like I say, migrating things, creating projects in Claude, putting in some of the information. So like my maybe documents that I had in projects in ChatGPT, I'll create a folder and put them in on Claude, start to do some work on Claude. And honestly, I start to see the power. Like Claude, why? It's a very powerful tool. Hang of flex. Like could do a lot with Claude. Granted, not saying you can't do a lot with ChatGPT. Yes, you can. And a lot of the features are similar, same. A lot of the features overlap, but like I say, they each have their strengths and their weaknesses. So before I get into the strengths of each, I'll share, like I say, a personal experience because we're talking about my journey here now. So one difference that I could really point out that is, I'll say, one setback, or I don't want to use the word problem, but one minor issue that ChatGPT has that Claude does not. So like I say, real experience. Voice dictation, I keep telling you, I just use voice dictation all the time. Like I don't be typing and typing to these. Yeah, nah, I don't have no time for that. Check. I just speak, just like how I talking to you now. I just talk to the AI, talk to it, tell it what I needed to do, and once it transcribes it, sometimes I'll go through, check a little bit, like scan quick, make sure it catch what I was trying to say, because it'll make mistakes. I ain't gonna lie, especially I have an accent, so it'll make mistakes, but for the most part, it'll be good. It's just like maybe you say certain words like you use a name of a certain place, like maybe I say I want to go Marigo, or I say like, yeah, I gotta go by the Makana Ferry. It might give you some made up word, like instead of Makana, I can give you macaroni or or some like Hawaiian macaroni or some weird off word. But like I say, for the most part, the dictations does work well. I am an avid voice dictation person. You check? Good. Now, like I say, real example. Voice dictation experience that I experienced comparison between the two platforms. Now, with ChatGPT, sometimes when I like voice noting it, so like dictating what I want to do, sometimes the information, the dictation does get lost if a call comes in. Or let me say if the text sits too long, it'll just disappear, you know? So for example, I'm talking about on my phone now, which on the computer basically similar but a little better. But like I say, when I using my phone, ChatGPT on my phone, let me say you there, you talking to the AI, you been going maybe 5 minutes already, dictated all of what you want done, all of what you want to say, even give context for understanding of what you need done. And like I say, maybe you don't sit down there, you send like a 5 minute voice note put together already, and now a call come in and it just disappear. Meaning like it's like you never even started to voice note nothing. So like it's like it just go back to square one. Like literally it's like you gotta just press the button again and start all over. Literally. Can you imagine the frustration? Please tell me in the chat. Can you imagine the frustration? You check you already think about all these things, you done went through different points and now this thing last gone and you gotta sit down there and think back for yourself like, why what all I say again, why? And then the mere fact that you gotta do it all over again, that's just time consumption, like for me I had to think about my time. My time is precious. Our time is precious. Time is the one commodity we don't get back. You check? Maybe you could buy and sell gold, you could get gold back and them things, but time, you can never get it back. Once it's gone, they're gone. You check? So, like I say, you sit down there, you dictate maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your instructions. Maybe you sit down, you try read off something because you want to dictate it to put it into the AI. And now it's all gone. Start all over. The hurt, the pain, the frustration. Yeah, I've been there. You check? Or sometimes, like, you might try to transcribe, like, meaning voice dictate something, and maybe you do get to, like, save it, meaning, like you get to send it so that it could transcribe and come back in words. But then maybe it don't get it transcribed, and then it just, like, wipe it all out. Like, these real experiences. Real experiences. So if the chat GPT developers and the open AI guys watching this, hear me. I know I'm just little old Oliver and all over it podcast, with a few viewers, but I'm a user and I'm an IT guy and I'm a developer too, basically. You check? I'm developing things just the same. So feel like my little advice and feedback, a little weight. But yeah, these is things that has be a struggle for me. And literally, like, times I get frustrated, like I want to mash up the phone, like, and I'm that type of guy. So but like I say, sometimes maybe because they have a with ChatGPT, they have a limit to how long you could send a voice note, like 10-minute limit. Check. So if you there dictating for 10 minutes, they'll just like cut off and say what you do. Check. But all of that, sometimes it might cut off, but then maybe for whatever reason, maybe connection or a little glitch at the time, like I say, it just don't transcribe it. You don't get a text, but then the voice note gone, and it's like, what the hell? What the hell happened there? You know? So trust me, frustrating. Or like I say, if the text sits for too long, so let me say maybe you go in chat GPT, whether you dictate it or you type it, you know, if you open a chat and you start a chat and you type or dictate what you want to do or you want it to do, what information you want to give it, but you say, okay, let me go deal with something else. Maybe you work on it before you had to go for a hike or to go exercising in the gym or whatever your day task is. And you say, okay, I'm going to deal with that when I come back. Or maybe you got to go work and you deal with that when you come back home from work. And when you come back home later, it's all gone. Like literally, it's like you never did anything, disappear, start from scratch. Hot food. How, how that How that famous meme go? Emotional damage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's emotional damage to yourself. Like just a dagger in your heart, self. Like what the hell? Yo, you check. So I gotta give Claude credit in that regard because look, with Claude has been better for my workflows when it comes to that. You check? Because I could dictate, I could leave it, come back, and I ain't gotta like my heart be beating, worrying like, why I'm hoping it gonna still be there, or why what if it gone? I gotta start from scratch. Like since I've been using Claude, I could say whether it be I leave something in the chat and I go leave it all day and I come back, it there, or whether it be I dictate something and maybe I dictate for so long that it cut me off self. It does transcribe. Maybe sometimes it does come up and say it had an error transcribing. But then once I click the retry button, which I ain't gonna lie, ChatGPT don't have that. But once I click the retry transcription button, at least so far in my experience, every time it give it back to me. You check? At least I could say every time I transcribe in something or I voice noting to Claude on my phone and a call comes in, it doesn't like disappear. It does transcribe it and leave what it captures so far. You check. So yeah, like I say, for sure. For that voice dictation experience, I could say I give it to Claude. I have to, Like one thing I could say too, Claude seems to capture my accent or dialect better in my experience. So I I know how I just communicate. So look, I just say I know how I just communicate. I know how I communicate. That's rightfully how that sentence was supposed to be said, but that's just our dialect, our jargon in my country. But I know how to polish my communication, especially shout out to Toastmasters for that, which I just get inducted yesterday again. But we coming back to that in the end. Our last announcements and thing in the end. Anyway, so like I say, Claude does do, in my experience, a better job at capturing like my accent or the dialect. Not saying that ChatGPT doesn't. It does. You check? Like, it does a good job, especially after I personalize it, especially after I give it like my data, my content, my information. I feel like it does do a good job at understanding my communication style. Like I say, understanding that, okay, maybe I might say something in a way that might come across as not grammatically correct. But like I say, it's just our dialect, our jargon. But no, I know how to be grammatically correct and I know how to communicate well. And I could communicate with the best of them. Good. Yeah, I have a good grasp of the English language and as they call it, the King's English. Yeah. But anyways, like I said, I just had to share that experience with you because it's something that is like, for me, a big deal. I don't know about you all. Maybe you all might rather sit down and type or type everything you want it to do. But for me, I like dictate. I like just like how I talking to you, just like how we just talk. Like, think on it like this. Let me say you have your assistant, you have a worker, you come to your office, or let me say maybe you own a employer, but you're an employee. Let me say you come to the job and you gotta communicate something with your colleague. You can speak it to them. Maybe yes, you might put it in email just to be more formal, just to have it like in a written form. But yeah, go to them, tell them, hey, I want you to do this task for me. We got this project we're working on, and I need this and this done for it. So I want you to do it for me. It's the same concept for me. I talk to my AI just like how I talk to you right now. Straight. So, like I said, that was a big deal for me. Like something that I would say had me checking by, Claude by the check. But anyways, and I gotta give her a joke, which I'm gonna talk more about it in the end. But today, a friend of mine reminded me, like, yeah, Claude, and then you mentioned, yeah, Claude, what he is, and I check it, yo, I didn't even think about that. That's ironic. Ironic. But yeah, like I say, Claude has a better flow and interface for voice dictation and capturing and transcribing your voice dictations and your voice notes. And like I say, just keeping and storing what you put into it. And like I say, it does keep the text there in the chat until you come back like numerous times. I'll know, like, okay, quick short example before I move into the next point. I started a journal, and let me say I'll journal when I collect eggs, when I, maybe do certain tasks around the farm and all these different things. And let me say I could go in, start, say, okay, well, this morning I maintain, put water, put feed, and blah, blah, blah. Then when I come back later, I could go back in, add in, okay, yeah, I collect these amount of eggs, I do this, I do that, and yeah, everything there. When I come back to it in the afternoon, what I put in the morning was there. When I go back in the night, I have the information there. I could just send it one time instead of having to like send piece, and then send piece, and then they give me an answer, then I send another piece, they give me another answer. Like some people like it like that. Some people rather when they're working with the AI, they check in Just give me one question at a time. Let me answer you once at a time, and we work with it like that. But like I say, I guess I'm a brain dump guy, and I just dump what I need you to do in it. Make sure you capture everything and answer everything, and yeah, we on the road. It's check. We down the road. So like I say, that was a big deal for me. And when you're working by voice, reliability matters. You want it to be able to capture what you say accurately and transcribe it and give it back to you and make sure it capture everything. Like I say, it ain't miss nothing. It answer everything you say. Or if you made different points, it answer to every point and all these things. You check. So yeah, reliability matters for me for sure. I like things that I could rely on, things that I could hold accountable, things that I know working. I could validate, I could back test because I like validation. I like to make sure you're doing what I want you to do correctly. Check. We'll come into all of that. So, ChatGPT strengths. ChatGPT has different strengths. Like I said, it's very good for like written content. So let me say if use a content creator and you want like posts, or let me say maybe you got your business, you want to do marketing and you want like text for your posts written, and you want it add like hashtags and make it like optimized for when it people searching, they find your post and all these things. ChatGPT is very good for that. Like I say, ChatGPT strengths, one of its top main strengths is writing, conversation, having anything written. ChatGPT good for. You check, as I just say, it named chat. Then it's in the name, chat. You know, so you got chat, you got talk, you got write. You check, yeah, good at writing. You know, one thing I gotta give it credit for too is ChatGPT's AI agent mode interface. So, as most of us who familiar with AI know, we have heard a lot about AI agents and leaving your AI agent do the work for you and all these things, which I have episodes I share about automations and creating AI agents and using the agents to do the work. And I literally show demonstration of the AI doing the work. Check. And when I did that, I used ChatGPT when I did that episode. Because like I say, I like how OpenAI or the ChatGPT company did their interface for the AI agent. Like I say, everything got its strengths and weaknesses, and you put more focus in one thing, so the next thing get less focus, and it maybe need a little more work, as with most things. Check. So to elaborate a little more about the AI agent, like I say, I like how in ChatGPT, the AI agent mode have like a visual aspect to it. Like it does show you, like it literally does show you, it does open a browser window view. So like think on like you on your browser, whether Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge or whatever browser you just use. You open up your browser and you scrolling through and you on whether your email or you on Canva or wherever you want. In ChatGPT, let me say in the chat that you prompted to do whatever work for you, whatever task, whatever AI agent task it have to do, it would literally open a window just like as if you open a browser window, a Google Chrome or Safari or Firefox, whichever one you just use. So for visual, I'm trying to have you visualize this mentally. Visualize with me. Check. So the chat GPT literally does open a browser window in the chat and you'll see it moving, clicking on things, and like you'll actually visually, I don't want to say physically, but it's actually digital. See the cursor moving on the screen and clicking things and updating things, typing things in, and all these different things for you. Check. So I gotta give it credit. I just like to watch what it's doing. Like I said, I like verification, validation. So if I seen what you're doing, I know what you do. Plain and simple. You check. Now with Claude, when at least for me, when I do AI agent tasks, when I have it like do tasks for me, like go and connect to a certain platform and update something or build a database or these different things, it don't like do that. It don't open no browser window. I can't see like, okay, it went here, it went there, but it does give you the log. So it does tell you, okay, yeah, it went here, it fetching this, it opened this window, it maybe had a trouble accessing this way, so it try it this way. Like it does break it down for you, you know? But like it's like logs, it's text. So like you could go through the text back and see, okay, it went here, it do this, you know, so you still could validate and backtrack and check the logs or what all was done to achieve the task. But like I say, with ChatGPT, you get that visual. You get to see what going on. And I feel that's something worth, you know, they get a little check for that, you know? They get a stripe for that one. ChatGPT, they get a win for their AI agent mode interface. Because like I say, I like that it give you a visual, it has open a browser window, you could watch what it's doing. Honestly, if it reach to like a wall, meaning like maybe if it need your credentials or something, it'll pause and tell you, yeah, it needs you to take over. So you could literally click take over and then you could move the cursor, click where it need, maybe it need to log in, and you could go in, log in for yourself, and then give it back control, and you'll see it continue doing what you gotta do. Now that it get logged in, it have access now, so you could do what you gotta do. Click here, click there, and you could sit down and watch it visually. It feels transparent and easy to follow, you know, as opposed to, okay, now you got to go back through logs and you got to read it through and you got to make sure you understand what it's telling you and all these different things, as opposed to if you see it happening, you know what happened. Check. So I'll say ChatGPT does a good job showing you the AI at work, you know, but like I say, Claude have its own strengths and significant strengths. Good night, Rita. Blessings. Thanks for joining. Welcome. Alone. So yeah, just now I talk about a few or one of the main strengths, you know. So I touch on a big one, but I mention a few for ChatGPT. But now I want to shift gears a little bit and touch a little more on Claude, some of the strengths of Claude. You know, so Claude now, it's very good for building systems, for building things, you know. So maybe you need a database for something. Maybe you got your business and you want a customer database or just a full business database created. Maybe you need a member database for an organization you in. Maybe you need some type of app created. Maybe you need a website created, or maybe you need an automation created. Like the cloud really good at building systems, building things. Let me say like that. You know, so very good for calculation tool, for building code, which I would say because it's good at code, like Cloud Code is very extensive and a very thorough product, you know. But I would say, I guess because Claude Code is so robust, that's probably why it does such a good job at building these other systems and apps and databases and all these things, because all those things is just code, literally. Like when you build a spreadsheet, it's code. When you build a database in maybe, well, you could do that in Excel too, but let me see, you build out a database of like for your cost for your business. It all has is code, because now on the back end you ain't seeing that, but what a computer seeing is like a bunch of lines of code, and in the code is just the text and the different parameters you put in. Check. So like I see it, that's probably why, because Claude Code is so robust, it's such a strong feature. It's such a strong platform and strong platform that they built. We just say that's why it's good at building out all these other things. Because like I say, it's just code. When you want to build uh let me say a trading bot, or a bot to scrape the web, or when you want to do an automation, when you want to build out a workflow, all of it is just code. Is just a flow. It's like if then statements and all these things, like literally, and this is what computers work off of. That's been since when? Python and C++ and all these type things. All my technical guys know where I'm coming from. Check. So like I say, we might see when we open up our browser, yeah, a nice tab saying Google Gmail and StreamYard and ChatGPT. But on the back end, what a computer scene is a line of code saying print ln with a bunch of squiggly brackets and dots and semicolons and all these things. At least now the coding languages get more developed, that now you could give them more like regular wording, regular words like how we talking, you could converse. Now they got very code, so you could just talk to it and do what you want. But it's been building up to that too, because let me say with C++ and Python and all these things, those older, maybe like those language models from like maybe the 90s, 80s, and those ones, they had to be specific. You had to give it in the format that it accustomed to. If you don't do that, it ain't gonna run. It gonna tell you, yeah, error. It gonna give you error messages. You check, so you gotta make sure if you miss a semicolon, it ain't gonna run, and all these things. But then they come with JavaScript, which was more like user friendly and written word friendly. So you could get away with missing certain things and it'll still run for you, because it still understand what you're trying to say. It get the gist. But then before, it was like, bye, if it ain't a square going in a square hole, it ain't working. Check. But now, like I say, we reached to a point that you could just talk to your computer, talk to your phone, and tell it, yo, I want you build an app, I want you build a website, I want you build a whatever it is for me, and within minutes, maybe an hour, you build this out for you from scratch, zero. You don't gotta do nothing. Like, meaning you don't gotta. But times change. We evolve as people, as humans. We just evolve. You check. Big up yourself one time, Cisco. Big up yourself one time in the chat. Yeah. Big up my dog one time. Shout out Cisco in the chat. Yeah. You don't know. But yeah, so like I say, Claude doing things, I building things for sure. Me personally, strength. apps, databases. I build a trading bot. I build farm systems. I build Notion databases. I build Airtable databases. I build logs and system logs and data logs and workflows and automations and look, all kind of things. Like, look, even a good example. We say with my trading bot that I create. I started when I built it using MetaTrader 5 because that's the platform I just use to trade. Good. So I built it around that platform. You check? But then after building it out and actually starting to test it, I say, you know what? Let me see about shifting to trading view. Meaning instead of using the MT5, the MetaTrader 5 platform, I say let me use trading view instead to be the platform that a trading bot can be housed on. And literally easy shift. I just literally come in the chat and tell it, yo, we've been working on this. We've been building it with a focus on MT5, but I've been thinking to shift gears and do trading view instead. Literally. You're checking cool, no problem. Okay, we got to make these minor adjustments. Adjust the code. Within minutes. You're checking here, no problem. Give me back everything now tailored to trading view. You know? So now I could say like this. With Claude, I feel like I ain't just chatting with AI. I actually building with AI, building things, like doing things, you know? So like I say with ChatGPT, I was still building things, but on other platforms. So I'll get the prompts and so from ChatGPT and go in another platform and build it out. You check? But now, yeah, with Claude, it just feel like, yeah, like we on. Yeah, you check? Blessings, Mimi. Blessings. Ras. Shout out to Mimi in the chat one time. Thanks. Appreciate you for joining. You check? You don't know, you don't know. But yeah, so if I gotta give some real examples, let me first of all let me pull up the screen, show you what we looking like there. Check. So okay, nice, lovely, look beautiful. I love these backgrounds. Gotta say. So if I gotta dive into things, this is something I actually build, which I can come to. But before I dive into that, let me go to ChatGPT. Okay, you see, look, a new feature that they just add in. Schedule anything in ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT to schedule tasks, reminders, or monitor things for you. So go track your flights, schedule tasks like it says. So maybe if you got things to do, you could give it these tasks and tell it, okay, help me track them, make sure I'm doing them and check off. But honestly, these is things I doing in Claude already. You check. So they just get I know. I'm doing that already elsewhere. No disrespect to them. Like I say, as you can see, I still using them. But anyway, like for a good example, like how I mentioned the Chat GPT interface. So this is one of the chats I use, whereas it has helped me schedule like bookings and appointments online. Like meaning like people could book appointments with me. And so yeah, like you see, I click here where it said if I scroll up, it said here worked for 21 minutes. So let me say the last prompt I sent it, I ask it to do something. Yeah, so I had an issue with the link and I asked it to fix it. And yeah, it went in and it check it out. So if I click work for 21 minutes, it give me the full breakdown. And if you could see to the far right, this is like the window, literally the chat window, the browser window that it opened while it was doing the work. So you see, it opened this window, browse the web, and open the users, 30-minute meeting link to test if times are appearing. So it telling you what it do, it giving you the breakdown, it giving you the rundown, but like I said, also have a visual. And I could click on this and you see it open like a screenshot. This is just like a screenshot of what it do. Check. So scroll down. The next step, I need to test the share link by checking if the page appears as an invite or still remains in the editing mode. You check. So now you see a different link. This is a different screenshot. Good. So it's showing you the work it do. A different screenshot again. No available time remaining. So it went in, it tests, it see that, like I say, people was going in when I shared a link with them and they wasn't seeing no available times. So it went in, it checked, it figured it out, and it do the work. You check, it went, it checked why, it tried to fix it, and it takes screenshots of what it did. But like I say, it screenshot this so I could go back through the activity, but it also had the window open. So let me say if I come here and I say schedule an appointment for me for next week, Thursday, with Judy Brooks for 11 p.m. AM. Sorry, let me say AM. So it ain't like check. So I tell it that, and now we're gonna do the work, and you're gonna see it doing the work. Check. That's it. Catch itself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll give it the access. No problem. I know, bro. Well, maybe because I asked it for Judy Jones, um, Judy Brooks. Yo, let's do this. Anyways, so like I say, probably because I add a name in the prompt, it probably asks for this, so it could go in and look for that person. But okay, let me do things different. Block out my schedule for next week, Thursday at 11 a.m. because I'm not available. Not available. So I want to show you like the actual browser opening up and it doing the work. Check. This is why we're doing this. Check. So like I say, I try to have it schedule an appointment for next week with Judy Brooks for 11 a.m. But it come up prompting asking Auntie Cal. Okay, copy message. Appointment for me, not schedule appointment. Blackout, yes, blackout one. So you see, you get to see in real time some issues in my Z card. Maybe I should act as my okay. So now I put act as my AI agent and black out my schedule in my Zcal calendar for next week Thursday and 11, at 11 a.m. Boy, I ain't lie, you're looking bad tonight, not ChatGPT. Anyways, well, at least you get to see it for yourself though. But look here, I did the same thing. The user wants an automatic 30-minute buffer after each meeting in Zcal. So yeah, it did the work. I know maybe settings change, things update. So now I gotta probably go back and check that. But I have to show you I ain't been using ChatGPT like that. Like, don't get me wrong now. I still using ChatGPT. What does normally do? Let me say like for the podcast and thing, I just use it for like the promotions and like maybe like putting together like the flow and those things. But yeah, generally I doing more work on Claude now. So like a good example, like let me start with what I was trying just now. Quick story time. So as you see before I had opened the chat GPT, I had this open, which as you can see, Oliki Farms seed and planting material inventory. Good. So basically I was checking like I got a bunch of seeds stockpiled, all kind of different variety, all kind of different crops. And I was checking like by it'll be good for me to have like a account, like a record of all the different seeds I have, the different varieties, and like an idea of quantity, whether it's a lot or a little bit. Good. So, like I say, it's a lot. Like I just say, I got a whole farm in my fridge. Check, literally. So I say, you know what? Let me work with my Claude to develop a seed bank, let me call it, a seed inventory, a seed log. Check. So I went into Claude in my Oliki Farms project folder and I started a new chat and I tell it, dictate, I tell her all night. I just dictate my things. I just sit down and talk to the chat, to the AIs, chat GPT, Claude, all that. I don't sit down and type. Good. So I sit down and I ask Claude, literally, I tell it, look, I've been thinking to put together a seed log. Honestly, I could show you exactly what I told it. Check, you know, we say we go into projects, Wiki Farms, creating a seed inventory log. Let me just scroll up. So yeah, you know what I want us to do? Have a lot of different seeds, like seeds to plant, like germinate, like actual seeds of various different crops with like fruits, vegetables, all kind of different things. So you could hear this sound like me just talking, I just like venting, I just brain dump into this AI. Good. You check? So I want to make like a log or like a spreadsheet of all the different seeds I have. And this would be helpful for me too, because I have some people that tell me they're interested in some of the various seeds I have and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so all that good stuff. So I tell it I want us to create a seed bank, seed inventory, and I give it the instructions. I tell it basically what I want, you know? So basically, what I want is for me to share with you what I have, and you create a database, like a spreadsheet of all the different items I have. And of course, this list would be updated periodically. And as I get new things, or maybe if I sell things, we'll make updates. And then, yeah, basically a seed record. And it come in, it asks me a few questions. So it asks me what I want it to be like detailed, or if I want it to just be like a basic, like, okay, name, variety, amount, source, like just simple basic things. Or if I want it complex, like expiration dates and all these, like a lot of more complex things. And yeah, so it asks me the questions. Where do you want this seed log to live? I tell it, okay, I was thinking maybe Notion. What do you think? If not, just a regular spreadsheet. Check, because all of that, it have access to my Google, and it could create an Excel spreadsheet and place it in my Google Drive one time. Good. What details do you want recorded per seed type? Just the basics: name, quantity, source, etc. So it tell me Notion is a better long-term move, and then it tell me, okay, you're gonna work on doing it in Notion, and then it tell me, okay, leave it know what seeds I have. So I started. So like you could see, I literally give it like a whole long breakdown. Like you could see, all of this is me brain dumping and explaining and breaking down everything for it. You check? So a nice, lengthy breakdown. You check? Soursop and things from Colombia and watermelon and tomato and pepper and cucumber and all kind of different things, different breed, all kind of thing. Good. So you see, like I say, so let me close this. Like I say, real example. I decided I wanted a seed bank or a seed inventory, and I just asked Claude, yo, I want you to create this for me. This is what I was thinking, and I want us to put this together. It asks a few follow-up questions, as you can see, and then I dictate my inventory. Like literally, I sit down, pull everything out of my fridge, and I itemize. Yeah, okay. If I didn't use the I would have to firstly create that database myself. So go into whether Excel or whatever platform I want to use and build the fields, build out the database. So put a heading, put the different fields like the name, the quantity, the source, the notes, all these things. And then after that, I still gonna have to go sit down, itemize everything. So all the different seeds, just like how I say, I gotta break it down. I'll have to go back. I gotta go through everything and type in everything one by one, meaning Okay, I pull a bag of watermelon seeds. Okay, crimson sweet watermelon, source from Bonea, amount to 300. I'll have to go and physically, manually do all of this myself. Check, populate the whole thing. Like I tell you, I sit down with the AI, I tell it, yo, I want us to do this. It asked me a few follow-up questions. And all I did was, okay, maybe it take me like what, maybe 20 minutes to sit down and like itemize and mention all the different seeds, all the different things I have. The check, so literally pull out everything, all the bags, all everything. And I itemize and say, okay, I got this crop. So cucumber, a bag of maybe 100. Okay, I get this from this and this place. Good. Next thing. And certain things, maybe I give a little context, I give some like explanation of where I get it from, some sentimental value towards it, and all these things. All these things in my database, it's I dictate, as you see. Let me show you back again. I dictate. All of this is my seeds. You check. All of this is me breaking down to the AI. And like you see, look how long that be. I dictate all of that. I ain't had no issues. Okay, I didn't do all of that in one sitting. I like start, do some, maybe sit down for a couple minutes, talk, and then send it. So like leave it, transcribe it. Once it's send that, then so you see like where the paragraphs break is where I like kind of stop it, leave it, like transcribe it, and then I check in, okay, once you capture that, boom, you're off to the races again, transcribe some more till we capture everything. And then once I capture everything, I send it as one prompt. And yeah, it similar to ChatGPT, like how I show the activity with the agent mode. It does that with this too, but like I said, it has it more like a breakdown, like it has it in text. You don't have no like visual screenshots and those things to go with it on Claude. But as you could see, it break it down fully, organizing a seed inventory and into a Notion database, structuring each entry with name, quantity, source, and notes, accounting through the rest, it going through what I say, then it find the tool, it say, okay, going to set up the database, it set up the database, it looking through my journal style workspace with daily entries. So it went look for my Oliki Farms hub. Boom, it find my workspace in Oliki Farms. Finally, then it start to create the database. So it create out the database. Then it say I need to actually populate the pages array with all the items, and it do that. So now when it respond to me, it say all 58 items are in. Here's the database. It give me a link to click. And as you see, well, actually I click it and open it, but this is it. You check. So like you see, cocoa plum, cherry, custard apple, soursop, different varieties of guavas, mangoes, multiple varieties, papayas, different varieties, watermelon, different varieties, melon, purple passion fruit, different things, all these different things, sapodilla, corn, pigeon peas, like peanuts, hot peppers, sweet pepper, all kind of thing, and it's all listed, broken down. Like I said, got like a category, got notes, so I could see, okay, little breakdown and explanation of what it is. Quantity, 100 plus, thousands, few of each variety, 200 plus. So you could come here and you could see everything broken down nice and clean. You check? So, yeah, like I say, I didn't have to build this out. And it's nice and detailed. They have the source where I get it from. It have if it's available, if it's available. They have where what type it is, whether it's a seed or I have cuttings and seedlings as well. Good. And I even work with it to add a space to put like reference photos. So like we could see what it looked like. Check. You could even add little emojis and all. Check. But yeah, so a full list broken down. I didn't have to go and type in all of this myself. You check? And it organized it for me after because when I had do it, it was like kind of everything all over the place. So like I tell it afterwards. Matter of fact, let me show you. Blah, 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 blah. You see, this is when I was asking it to put reference pictures. Okay. Um, okay, that was a lengthy response. Okay, basically, this here is when it was telling me like, because I asked it to consolidate everything, like reorganize the list so that similar things could be together, and like we say, the different varieties of things or different similar things that I get from different places would be organized together instead of like all over the place. So, like I say, that's why now you get like the different guavas together, you get the different papayas together, different watermelons together. Cause first it was like one watermelon here, then the next one all the way down here, then the next one all the way down there. You check? So I tell it, okay, organize it for me and put it together. You check? Now, on top of that, it ain't just that I do. After consolidating the list, like you see done, here's everything that just happened. It put all the mangoes together in one item. Then it reorganized the list into groups, back to back in this order. And it tell me the order how it do it. Good. And then I tell it I wanted like the seedlings and the cuttings and those things to be at the bottom. And yeah, give me exactly how I wanted it. Good. So after that, I tell it I had some people that tell me they're interested in the seeds, and basically I work with it and I provided the link. So it give me the link, but I had to create like a separate link so it could be like more private, not just in my workspace that everybody can access my workspace. Good. So after I get a private link, I send it in. Yeah, this is it here. And then it asks me if I wanted to draft the message for me to send to the people then. So I just tell it, yeah, I check everything good. So yeah, I want you to redo the messages you did. And these are messages with the links and asking for email. So this message was for one person and this message was for a next person. And literally I could just go here, copy it, send it to them on WhatsApp, and then break down pricing so I could add in there as well. So yeah, we're working. Real examples. Check real examples. So that's one example. I check. Now I can give you three more examples, but I'll keep them short so we could kind of wrap up. So another thing I had my Claude do specifically is I was checking, I have different projects outstanding, different things that I have to work on, projects and tasks outstanding that needs to get done. A lot of things in my head that need to get done. I need to, let me say, enlist people to come and assist and do certain things, so like hire people or like assign certain team members to certain tasks and everything in here. So I say, you know what? I need to organize myself and create like a good project and task system. So what I did was similarly went into Claude and I had it. So let me see if we go into projects again, Wiki Farms again. So project, organizing projects and team collaborations. So yeah, this one long, we do a lot of work in here. But yeah, so basically I tell it what I want it to do. And as you can see, this is after I personalize it because you see it come in and tell me blessings with a little prayer hands. That's totally me. Love the vision. Make this happen properly. You check? Let's make this happen properly. Sorry. And it break it back down for me. Checking like, yeah, you want me to be your executive AI assistant for Oliki Farms. When I bring a project, you can capture the details, ask the right clarifying questions, build out a clear action plan, and push it to my ClickUp workspace. Real tasks, structure, not placeholders. Good. So it tell me a workflow it envisioned, let me say. And yeah, basically we work on it. And you see, I respond and I tell it, yes, that's what I envision as well. And some projects may be a little more immature than others in the sense of like in the incubation stage, and others more like ahead, more developed. But yeah, checking good questions they ask me. And yeah, long story short, we work on exactly where I want everything to go. I break down the projects in here, so I brain dump and I give like, it asks me about my team too. So it could like add like a list of my team members. And then, yeah, like I check in, okay, I answer all the questions. And then I start to give the projects, some of the projects I'm working on, like my hydroponics, my land prep, and so on. And yeah, so let me just say projects captured, 6 projects, gold pen, hydroponic, land prep and crop production, chicken coop upgrade and yeah, new build, cold bay garden help with uncle. And then he had captured 2 hydroponic system, but it was only 1. So yeah, correct that. And then yeah, we was after the races. So now understand, like here, you could see it say it pushed all this information to my ClickUp. So let me come back here and give a quick rundown. So like I say, in my Claude, I went into Claude, I tell it, look, I want you to be like an assistant to me and help me structure and organize my outstanding projects, create tasks and all these things, even for team members within the team. Good. So it had me break down exactly how I want it, where I want things to go, how I want the system and the workflow to go. Then it asks me whose team members I want to add in. And then it asks me, okay, give me the projects. So I break it down. Like I tell you, dictate. I just sit down and I dictate. I don't want to be typing all these things. So I sit down, I talk it just like how I talking to you. And After I was done, I send it. It maybe ask 1 or 2 questions. Once it got clarity of what it need to do, it start doing it. It push the items to my ClickUp, like literally build out the team list, build out like, let me say, a project folder in ClickUp. So ClickUp is a platform, for those who don't know, another platform for like project management and keeping track of tasks and team collaborations and assigning tasks to team members and all those things. Like just good project management platform. So like I say, I had it go into ClickUp, literally build out what I asked it to put in. So it build out the project, add in the data that I share. So both pen, okay, source palettes, source this, source that, schedule team to build it. After we build it, build the door, get the goats, good, everything fully outlined, everything, nothing miss. Like if I miss anything, I got an assistant now to make sure I'm comprehensive. Like, bye, look. Anyways, after I had it push the projects, it created tasks, like I say. So like I say, maybe for the hydroponic system. Okay, so let me show you that. Let me show you better. I'll show you better than I can tell you. So let me say, okay, we go in here now, bam, bam, bam. So let me say this is ClickUp. I'm in ClickUp now, and so these is some that I had do previously, but if I scroll along, click on spaces, spaces is like folders. So good, hydroponic system expansion. So now it have a list of tasks. So to do list. So you see, finalize the calculations, source all materials, build and assemble the system, upgrade the existing system, clear the 5th location and build the final system, install shade cloth, move the flower pots out of the cleared bathtub, which that done already. And the shopping list actually done already too. You check, so rightfully these is things I could check out. But anyways, like, yeah, so our next one, let me say land prep and crop production. I go in here, prune the kinnip tree, spread mulch and till beds, shape and mold garden beds, install drip irrigation, decide on what iguana protection for the beds, and then of course implement that. And then plant out my crops, and then I got a full description of the list, you know. So if I click here, I got a list of crops that I plan to plant, you know. So short crops, pumpkin, okra, pepper, watermelon, special melon, cherry tomato seedlings, you know, plant ASAP before they die, ground cherry, you know. So basically in my breakdown, I express like the things I plan to plant out when I finalize preparing the beds and putting the irrigation and all these things. And yeah, look, it's all here. Which I see a mistake. This is not what was supposed to be there. But yeah, so you could see basically I did not input this. I didn't put none of this into this platform. I did not go into ClickUp and checking, okay, let me copy and paste this into ClickUp. No. Like you see, I come here in Claude. I decide, okay, I want us to create this. And these are projects. We come down. It explain the projects because I give it like some corrections. It explain back the projects, and after it explain them back, it asks me before I push this to ClickUp 2 questions. Do you want each of them to be in its own folder, or just everything inside the space. So I tell it, yes, I want it in a folder. And then for the coconut stand layout, if I want it to help me do that, so I tell it, okay, cool, I'll come back to that. But yeah, look, it push it to click up. And you could click here and it's going to show you what all it do. Check, you click here, it's going to show you, okay, it went to click up, it search the workspace. Once it get the workspace, it find it, you see it found it, one space in workspace, blah, blah, blah. Now let me create all the project folders and the team list, starting with the folders. Good. So now, boom, click up, integration use. It created the folders. Create the list in folder. So after it create the folders, now it create the tasks inside the folders. Good. So I showing you like, look, it do all the work now. And it come back and it tell me blessings. We making things happen. Because I tell it that's why to say. ClickUp is live. Here's what was built. So structure created 5 project folders inside your Oliki Farm space, plus a team raster. And give me a breakdown of everything. The hydroponic, 7 tasks created. Land prep, 7 tasks. Goat pen, 6 tasks. Chicken coop, 4 tasks. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. You check? And good. All these things it do for me. And like you see, let me minimize this. It here. These hydroponic, land prep, goat pen, chicken coop, cold bay, garden and coconut stand, team roster. Good. All of it right here. If I click here on chicken coop, it's going to open up and I could see all the tasks I mentioned when I brain dump. So clean and restore chicken coop interior, which I did that. Install water system, fix water plane, box cover, and inspect other wood. You check? Good. So different tasks, certain things I do already, which if I go in the chat, all of that. You need to say like it just create the list and now it leaves me with the list and I got to fend for myself. I literally could come back here. So, bye. Understand. I asked it to create this project and task system for me. It created the full system. It pushed the data to my ClickUp workspace. Additionally, whenever I ask it to, let me say for instance, when I decide I'm going to clean the chicken coop, I ask 2 of my team members to come and assist me. And I went into the ChatGPT and not ChatGPT, in Claude. Sorry. I'm trying to look for it. Yeah, okay. There. I'll find it. Good. So let me show you this quick. Last thing I'll show you, and then everything else will be talking. Then I'll wrap up. So, like it say, okay, I spoke to Nadine today, one of my team members, scheduled for her to come and assist me on Monday, which was last week. She mentioned she able to come by, and we plan to. The task I say I'm gonna do is clean the chicken coop and do some quick upgrades. Good. So I asked it to update my ClickUp platform and let it know like, okay, put a date to that task, which is cleaning the chicken coop and doing those upgrades. Put notes of the upgrades, which was like clean out inside, wash down inside, put on cardboard, put on mulch for the chickens them so that they could, walk on instead of just like warp dirt and they scratching up in the dirt. And then like, yeah, different tasks, fix different things around the coop and so on. Good. So I asked it to update the task in ClickUp, put the notes of the things that I plan to do and, so on, so of course it already had a task for cleaning the chicken coop and doing some upgrades, but I asked it to put like those details. And I asked it to also push it to my Apple reminders for my quick glancing. So on my phone, I just use my Apple reminders a lot. And I say, you know what? Let me get the Claude to not just push my updates and ClickUp, but also give me like an action plan or action priority list on my Apple reminders. You check? So it do 2 tasks for me right there in one. It do two separate things. Well, 2 things on 2 separate platforms. You check? And then it give me a priority roadmap list, which is like a short list of, like I say, priorities, things as like quick things that could get knocked off the list quick. Good. And then afterwards, so you see it build the Apple reminders, priority lists with these 10 things, and it pushed the ClickUp. It fixed what it had to do. So Monday's date is now attached to the chicken coop task with a full game plan. And then afterwards, I asked it to update it again because I had talked to a second member of my team and they say, okay, they're willing to come and help out too. So, yeah. And then on top of that, I tell it, apart from my Apple reminders, I also in my calendar on my phone. So in my Apple calendar and my Google calendar, I have them tied. I just like put tasks too. So like every day I have like a block for to do tasks for the day. And I just like go in there and let me say like put little bullet point reminders. So let me say if I want to go to credits today, if I want to go by Kuiman, if I want to fix something in the garden, I'll just put like a little short reminder. So maybe 1 word, 2 word, and put that in my calendar. So all of that, I get my Claude to push an update for me. Look, like you see it say, use 2 tools. Search calendar events. So I need to locate the recurring to-do calendar event on Monday, June 22nd, 2026, and add the chicken coop cleaning details, including the roof task, to its notes. Let me also update the corresponding ClickUp task with this information. So basically, come back and tell me, found the to-do event in my calendar, and it updated with the chicken coop plan. Then it come back, it tell me done. It's only a Monday instance. Your other days stay untouched. Now let me add the roof cleaning task to ClickUp too, since there's new info word capturing there permanently. Good. So it went into ClickUp, update the task, and it come back and they tell me all set with a little 100 emoji. I tell you, I personalize it. So it moving like me now. Good. Your Monday to do calendar event now has the full chicken coop plan in the notes, including the roof sweeper, which I also added to the master ClickUp task so it doesn't get lost long term. Going forward, just let me know what date you're working on and what you plan to tackle, and I'll drop it straight into the day's to-do list, like meaning in my calendar to-do event notes. And keeping it as simple as possible, and then doing it in the calendar and adding my ClickUp so everything could keep up to date and nothing get lost. Good. Man, 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 these things so powerful, these things doing so much. Look, I got so much I still want to share with you, but time, it's so much to do, so little time. You check? But yeah, I got it doing a lot for me. Like I say, I got it pushing data to Notion, pushing data to ClickUp, pushing data to my calendar, pushing data to my Apple reminders. Look, another good example. Financial tracking. All of my long-term viewers know I've been building systems using different platforms to build out systems, different iterations of financial trackers. Good. Recently, I had an episode where I show one that I built out that I've been using most recently. Good. But right now, like I mentioned, I got like this journal that I've been using, and in it, I'll say upgrade it that it could pull out financial information out of the dictation and create a financial log. You check, so whether is income or expenses, it's separated by personal and business. It has a log that it, like I say, every day, let me say maybe I go buy chicken feed. I log that. I mention that when in my dictation, my journal, and let me say I maybe make some money from eggs. I log that in my journal, and I don't have to go now and pull that out or go now in a separate platform and put that in. Like once I send that journal, it automatically pull the data, say, okay, $25 spent on a bag of feed, $10 made on a flat of eggs, and it give me a breakdown, and it give me a full itemized list. It have a log that it populate. It populates it for me, giving me summary and everything, making financial tracking so much easier. You check? Because like I say, when I created the ones in the past, for me, dictation is a big thing. I want that, let me say, if I want to put in a financial transaction, I could dictate it. So say, okay, I went to Kuiman today, I buy fencing for $150. That's a business expense. And then that'll automatically go into the system, the log, you check? So yeah, basically what I'm trying to show you, AI doesn't just answer questions. It could help you keep your records. It could help you keep better records. AI is here to help. If what you want to do stays in your head, it's stress. If it goes into a system, it becomes manageable. You check? Or like I say with the seed bank, a whole farm in my fridge, and AI helped me organize it. So before I knew, okay, yeah, I got this, I got that, but now I know everything. Why have everything is outlined. You check? I ain't got a question or wonder, okay, what I got again, or I got that, or you still got that? Everything. You check? If I want to give you a last final example, I've been working on a solar plan, and AI has been a big help for me with that. So I had it analyze bills. I upload bills, it analyze bills for me. I had it analyze consumption. I do a walk around the house listing devices and things that pull in current. I compare the bills with real consumption. And then I work with it on, let me say, suppliers, meaning like I ask it like, okay, I thinking I'm reaching out to these suppliers, and I tell it, okay, give me some suggestions too. It give me some suggestions. We work on a list of people to reach out to, both locally and elsewhere. And yeah, even down to draft emails to send to them. When they respond and they send quotes, analyze quotes, break down whether it's reasonable or if it's like, high price or these different things, and draft responses, ask questions, mention preferences in components, all these different things. Like, by even helping me negotiate. You check? Yeah, real talk. Crazy work. Crazy work. You check? Like I tell you, I literally work with it. I walk around my whole establishment and analyze what's all the things that pull in electricity consumption breakdown, full detailed consumption breakdown based on real time, real data was really there, not based on what the utility companies say being put. But then after building that consumption breakdown out, like I say, I provide it with my actual bills. So my GB bills, I take screenshots of it, put it in the chat in the Claude, and I had it analyze the bills. So I ain't just give it one, I give it like 3 to 5 so it could like have an average. Good. And it give me a breakdown. It give me a consumption breakdown similar to the one I do with like the walkthrough, It even give me information that we here in St. Martin would have never get or never know if we was not intentional about checking these things. You check? So it break down to me that, let me say, over the past 6 months, so like from January till now, the fuel class has been rising. Let me say over the past few months. So let me say within the 6 months, maybe it rise maybe 3 to 4 times. You check? Other people might not pay attention to that. A lot of people, they just get a bill and all they look at is how much they gotta pay, and they go pay. They don't check like, okay, I use this amount, or what the fuel class gone up from last month, or a lot of people don't check those things. They don't check these things in detail. But like I tell you, I was able to get like real data, and data that you could make data-driven decisions from. You check? Like, another example, like, I want to buy here too, but just know that the AI give me good insight and good feedback based on the bills that I put into it. So even if you don't do nothing else that I tell you here today, if you're living in St. Martin and you're facing this GB situation, at least go on whatever AI you use. I recommend Claude, but you could use ChatGPT, you could use whatever you use, Copilot, Gemini, whatever, and just explain it. Look, this what's going on, this might GB bills, and I want you to analyze them, and we're going to get down to the bottom of things. And yeah, just put it in and they're gonna give you some insights back. You check? So yeah, long story short, after doing my walkthrough consumption breakdown, I give a few bills and I got a consumption breakdown based on the bills. I was able to compare the two, and I do that mainly to verify, to see if the bills that we get in really accurate, meaning like if what they're charging us is really correct, you know? And it was close, you know, it had minor differences, but yeah, it was good enough, let me say. You check? But then yeah, like I say, I've been checking solar, need that. So start looking into what's the best sources to get it, best reputable suppliers, and start reaching out to these places. Literally email these people and being in correspondence with these people to look into getting these things moving. You check? But yeah, like I say, AI helped me to move from guessing to informed decision making. You check? So those was real examples. If I have to give like a bigger lesson, AI is more than just a Google. AI is more than just, yeah, you go and type in a question and it give you an answer. You know, AI could be your writer. AI could be your analyst, analyzing things for you. AI could be your assistant. AI could be your builder. AI could be your project manager. Whatever it is, you need AI to do. Just give it the prompt. Ask it if it could do it. If it can't, they can tell you it can't. And they can point you in a right direction. But right now, they're doing basically everything. Check. So if I gotta give a final comparison, like I said, ChatGPT wins in writing, conversations, content, brainstorming, and visual agent browsing. You know, so like I say, with the agent mode, you get like a visual aspect. You check. Whereas with Claude wins in systems, databases, coding, workflows, structured build outs, and long project work, you know, so big projects, things that's complex. You check? So to say simply, use ChatGPT when you need conversation and content, and use Claude when you need structure and systems, when you need something built. You check? So like I say earlier, everything have its strengths, everything have its weaknesses. Where AI is concerned, each of them have their strengths for sure. So even like a commercial I've seen on numerous occasions does say all AI has its strengths. All AI has it, you know, is a tool for something, you know. So learn the different platforms so you can use that tool for that task, basically. You check, so don't just rely on one, which like I tell you, even for me, sometime back I was checking by all I need is ChatGPT. But now I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Yeah. Yeah, a little karaoke one time. But yeah, so like I say, my final comparison, I explain IO, ChatGPT, really good for writing, bodies are writing, content. Whereas Claude, Claude is a beast when it comes to putting things together, projects, databases, building things out for you. You check, so what's that thing that you had in your mind that you're checking by? This would be a good thing to build out by. Claude could build that for you. Like I say, ChatGPT also is a great and robust platform. You could do a lot. You could build things out in ChatGPT as well. But like I say, everything has its strength. Check. So that being said, if I have to give you one last message, yeah, don't marry yourself to one tool. You check. Understand that each platform has its strengths. Learn the strengths of each platform, test them, and then do your own thing. Build your own systems, build your own workflows. Just start simple, start somewhere. AI is not a one size fits all, so can't just go on one thing and do everything there and checking, yeah, everything good, Nah, it ain't working so. Check. So yeah, that's my wrap up. In closing, you're not just using AI for fun. You check. AI is to build things. Check. Yeah. Others using AI to build things. So why can't you? Check. So this is my encouragement to you to think about what AI could help you do based on all these things I share with you tonight. All the things I show you, I do and build out with AI. And trust me, I ain't show you everything. Like a couple weeks ago, before I start on the financial literacy stuff, I was doing some AI episodes. I had one where I talk of where the episode title was "Look What I Built," and literally the whole episode was me just showing like, okay, I build this automation, I build this database, I build this with AI. You check, and yeah, so this is what I'm showing you. I show you things here today. This is new in a sense. You check. Some of them I've been working on already, but now they fully developed. They develop a lot more further. But yeah, they saying it. I got other projects I working on with clients, and I look, we working. We putting in work out here. Yeah, we ain't sleeping. Foot is on the gas. Season of execution. We is doing things. We making things happen. You check? So yeah, like I tell you, don't just ask AI questions. Put it to work. Make it work. Don't just say bye. I want it done. Make it do it. Yeah. What you telling me? You check? So one thing I want to point out that all these things I show you, let me say like the Claude work that I do, going on ClickUp, going on Notion, all these things, they have a prerequisite, short step that you have to do before the Claude could do all those things, which is just go into the connectors section and connect these different platforms. I show all this already in the past, but just for, being comprehensive sake, let me say if I come here, you could either click by your name and they have, you go in get apps and extensions and it'll open the apps and extensions section. You check? Or could open back. You could click here and customize, and then it'll open up this customized page for you. Whereas you can connect your apps, you could create new skills. So teach Claude to do certain things that you just do, or you could add plugins, so most people probably familiar with plugins. I'm gonna get into it. But if you click connect your apps, it's going to bring you to the connectors window. And like you could see, all of these is different platforms you could connect your Claude to. So things I use, things I don't use, all kind of things. Whatever you just use, probably here in this list. See? Even Coursera and all kind of thing, by all kind of thing I don't know. Look, Interactive Brokers, which is one of the trading platforms that I mentioned last week. Well, not last week, well, last week too, but last week or week before. Look, Stripe payment processing, all kind of things you could connect. Your QuickBooks, so your business finances, you could connect to it. WordPress, so websites, all kind of things. Look, I go in still now. Upwork, you could hire talent with confidence. So that's like a freelance thing. Expedia, you could plan trips, find flights. Man, so much things. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, and yeah, they have a bunch. You could search for ones that you want. Maybe you want one for WhatsApp. You type in WhatsApp. Okay, you don't have no WhatsApp one, but you know, you could search for what you want and add it. So let me say if I decide maybe let me look for one to add in. To add. So let me say I open on my next screen. Anyways, um, yeah, just we ain't gonna go into all of that. We ain't gonna go into all of that. So yeah, you get the idea. You gotta just connect your apps. So I went in there, I connect my Notion, I connect my um all them things. I connect my Gmail, my Google Workspace, Google Drive, all them things. I connect my different platforms, different things that I use. I went in, I made the connections. So now, as you can see, I could just go into my AI and tell it, okay, look, I want you go into this platform and update this for me. Or, okay, in this platform, I have this, I want you change that for me. And it's doing that. Check. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know. I'm done with all this AI talk for tonight. You check. Blessings and love. I appreciate you for taking the time and sticking with me for so long. Yeah, I know. But yeah, good stuff as always. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, had a good week. Yesterday I was re-inducted in the board for my Toastmasters club. So once again, I'm part of the executive team as the vice president of membership. Bap bap. Let me get a little round of applause for myself. A little applause for myself. Yeah. Woo. Pick up yourself, Oliver. Check. Yeah, so yesterday was induction. I was re-inducted. And I just want to say shout out and congratulations to all the executive members incoming and say congratulations to all the outgoing members. Check. Blessings. New year ahead, starting as of July 1st. Back at it again for me. For me, an easy transition. I got to talk to myself about, yeah, what we going to do for this year coming. Check. Yeah. But anyways, apart from that, had a good week. Had some guests came in from St. Kitts and, showed them around. Had a nice few days. It was a nice vibe, nice experience. They enjoy the experience and enjoy learning about the island and seeing things and hearing it from my perspective, and yeah, just a nice few days, nice experience, nice vibes. I gotta say shout out to Juste one time, blessings my cousin. And, you know, big up and shout out to Devashli and Shakwan and my dog. Yeah, man. Deante. Hey, don't play my mind. Hey. Yo, I look, like I say, when it comes to these children, right? It's day one now. We just living in it. Straight up. Check. So all we could do is try live. Live as best as we can. You know? But yeah. Anyways, I had a good week last week. I'm going to have a good week upcoming as well. I have a short trip upcoming as well myself. Yeah, just blessings and love. You know, my nephew graduating end of this week. So congratulations to my nephew Omari Williams one time too. I send you a little public shout out one time. We get a little applause. But yeah, graduating high school, big things popping. I remember when that was just a little nothing when he used to be sleeping on my bed. I got changed pamper and thing. Wow, 17 years have passed fast, but telling you. Honestly, I don't feel like an old man. Some people are checking by you when you're young, but I feel like an old man sometimes. I ain't know about you. But anyways, I ain't gonna keep our here too much longer. I really love and appreciate you. I love and appreciate you for joining and patronizing and be well, I can't say patronizing. Let me not use that word. Let me not use that word. Check. Joining and supporting and being here with me for the All Over It podcast. You know, every Monday we hear faithfully every week. Monday, 7 p.m. AST, Atlantic Standard Time. Check. Good. So you can't confuse it. Even when times change, when daylight savings times change, we still on time. Yeah. So it's love now, man. Love and blessings. And I really appreciate you. As you know, here on the All Over It podcast, we uncovering it all. And every week I come in here with value. And that's why I could get away with going over 2 hours and people still checking, man. I can come on, I can watch it. Man, even though he was on for 2 hours last week, I can come back on and watch it this week. Check his love. I ain't come here to play pat a cake, and waste your time. Nah, I come here for value, to give you value. I come here to bring you something that will help you and better your life. So once this did that, I did my job. I did the work that God put me here to do in a way that's pleasing to Him and service to you. Check. And with that being said, I wrap up today, All Over It podcast, episode 61. Claude versus ChatGPT. Which AI should you use? And I want you to leave a comment telling me which one you like, which one you prefer, which one you gonna use. Maybe you watch this episode and you checking by, you know what? I'm more leaning towards ChatGPT because I like content. I doing more content. You tell me, I want to hear from you, you know? So leave a little comment in the chat, like, share, subscribe, do all of YouTube and social media stuff. You check? Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. All Over It podcast. We here with it. We coming to you with good stuff. Always. You check? So that being said, my people, I wish you a blessed week ahead. Prosperity and blessings. We're about to roll over into a new month. We're progressing. So just like how time progressing, we're trying to progress and grow just the same. We want to just stay stagnant and then months down the line, a year down the line, we checking by, we in the same place we was a year ago. Nah, can't happen. Tal, check. So you don't know. Blessings, my people. Love alone. You can catch me here next week once again, faithfully, Monday, 7 p.m. right here in your face for the All Over It podcast. And with that, I bid you, my lovely people, adieu, salute to you, and have a blessed week ahead. Love alone. One note.